तैयार करने थे। हमने अलग अलग प्रदेशों से भी बात की, हमारे साथ प्रथम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी थी, इन्होंने क्योंकि नेशनल लेवल पर भी एफएलएन पे भारत सरकार के साथ भी काम किया था, तो इन्होंने भी हमारी मदद की सर। हमने मिलकर के ये टूल बनाए हैं और इसको हम जो है 7 और 8 को आपके आदेशानुसार, आपके निर्देशानुसार, आपकी लीडरशिप में हम इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, कंडक्ट करवाएंगे इस सर्वे को। सर मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूंगी कि हमारे टीचर्स को जो है आप अपना आशीर्वाद भी दें, उनको दिशा निर्देश भी दें और उन्हें इस कार्य की जो सीरियसनेस है उनको करने के लिए थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट भी करें सर, क्योंकि आपका वक्तव्य हमारे लिए बड़ा मोटिवेशनल होता है। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। सर आप म्यूट हैं, सर आप म्यूट हैं।
Sorry. Oh, in fact, there is some technical glitch on the main screen, so I have joined from my mobile. Probably, and let me say big thanks to Manjula who made me join all of you, and my thanks to whosoever is attending this a very important workshop, and I personally feel that FLN is critical for any state and for any nation to understand the kind of gaps which our students, when they pass out from the second standard after first and second, and they go and join our third standard, which is now government of India, as per the latest policy, is talking of the pre-primary years and 2 FLN1 and FLN2, so that makes it 5. It is critical because there is always some kind of a blame game, between the pre-primary and this 1 and 2nd standard. Blame game between the people who are responsible for FLN and pre-primary, and when they actually go to the higher standard, so they always criticize कि कैसे बच्चे भेज दिए हमारे पास. So there's always, and then the FLN people or the pre-primary people are always saying कि नहीं हमने तो अच्छे ही भेजे थे, and but वहां जाकर should I speak from there or I should continue speaking from there? So इसको बंद कर दो. Why you making it? So चल पड़ेगा तो अब पहले मंजुला just a minute, because I'll be available and I'll be more comfortable from the main screen. So if you can just hang on for a second or for a minute, then I'll be. I'm there. Acha. Manjula, can you hear me?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir.
Okay. एक मिनट, मंत्री जी फोन कर रहे हैं. हेलो. हाँ नमस्ते. ये सुरेंद्र. हाँ एक मिनट मंजुला, बी देयर. आई एम सॉरी, मंत्री जी लाइन पे हैं मैम.
ये पूरा जो हम ओरिएंटेशन अभी करेंगे, इस पूरी ओरिएंटेशन में हमने आपके लिए पूरा एक पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन भी तैयार किया है सभी टीचर्स के लिए, आप सब लोगों के लिए जो फील्ड ऑफिसर्स हैं, ताकि आप समझ पाएं कि हम किस तरह से इस पूरी असेसमेंट को कर रहे हैं. और ये असेसमेंट जो है जब फील्ड में इम्प्लीमेंट होगी, जब कंडक्ट की जाएगी, तो आप अगर मॉनिटर कर रहे हैं तो आपको समझ हो जाएगा कि ये किस तरह से टीचर्स ने करनी थी, और कहीं पे भी दिक्कत आ रही होगी तो आप उनकी मदद भी कर पाएंगे टीचर्स की. हमने 2 दिन चुने हैं, 7 और 8 तारीख. हमने इसलिए 2 दिन चुने हैं कि क्लास 1 की हम 7 तारीख को करेंगे और क्लास 2 की हम 8 को करेंगे. वो इसलिए है कि जब एक क्लास की हम क्लास 1 की कर रहे होंगे तो टीचर बड़ी आसानी से पहले मौके ओरिएंटेशन, फिर लिखित ओरिएंटेशन, फिर उस सर्वे करेंगे, और उसके बाद जो है वो उसको नोट भी कर सकते हैं हर जगह कि वो किस बच्चे ने क्या क्या किया है। तो आप काइंडली इसको, जब हम ओरिएंटेशन कर रहे होंगे तो आप इसको ध्यान से भी सुनेंगे कि आपने किस तरह से इसको कंडक्ट करना है। एक और चीज भी मैं यहाँ पे कहना चाहूंगी आप, हो सकता है कि अभी हमने बेसलाइन में बहुत इजी टूल बनाया हो, वो इसलिए भी कि हम जानना चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे इस वक्त कहाँ हैं, और फिर जब हम उसका एंड लाइन करेंगे तो हम थोड़ा हायर ऑर्डर भी करेंगे और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे। सर हमारे साथ हैं, सर आप कंटिन्यू करें सर प्लीज।
I think Murat जो है Manjula from my side, you are doing your bit, but then I probably feel because there are a lot of things happening. So earlier there was some technical glitch in joining you, and now we got a call from the Honorable Minister. Anyhow, so I mean this is important, as I said, and why this is important, because if we see the data available with us that says that mind gets 90% developed by the age of fifth. So if the 90% of the brain gets developed at the age of 5, and then there is a little progress and it goes right up to the age of 20. So 90% of your brain is developing in the age group which we are talking about, which Manjula is talking about today. So if this is the time, then the entire kind of perception, kind of thought process, kind of conceiving the various ideas, knowledge, or even the so-called non-cognitive kind of skills that happens during this time. And probably the FLN was thought, correlating it with the development of the brain. And so you can realize that if this 90% of brain, when this is developing or this gets developed, then at this age we require to pump a lot of things. So there are contradictory theories to this, that we should not be doing overdo to the students at this age, but at the same time we have to realize that this is the time when I think it is a must go situation in the brain of these children who are at FLN1 and FLN2. So what you are doing, Manjula, is important for from the state perspective, and also to avoid that blame game which I am talking, that the upper class teachers are blaming the lower class teachers and the lower class teachers are blaming the upper class teachers. So if we have those empirical evidences with us that we at the standard 2, and when the boy or a girl goes to the standard 3, and there are empirical evidences with this kind of a work which you are doing, then nobody can really blame. Then you can jolly well say that this is the time, this is the age, these are the outcomes, this is how we have sent my student after 12, after second. So there will not be any blame game on that. So that is why I think the work which you are doing, and all your team who is there with you, is a very important work, is very very important. And uh, mm, so what you are doing is, you are not only learn you are not only assessing the learning skills of the students of class first and second, but you are also focusing on their psychomotor and the socio-economic skills of the students, putting these learning skills along with the focus on psychomotor and socio-emotional skill, that makes it a kind of assessment or a reflection of those students in these standards, which actually talks about the gaps which you need to help them out. So the idea of any assessment from my perspective is to work out that where are student, as on today, when you are doing the baseline data, then the baseline statistics suggest you that these are the yardsticks at the standard 2. These are the yardsticks in terms of the skill or knowledge at standard 1, and also on their psychomotors and the socio-economical, socio-emotional skills. So how you are assessing is very, very important, because if your tool is a tested tool to extract these kind of statistics, then your kind of tool or the test instrument which you are talking in terms of the report card which you have made for the standard 1 and 2, and these instruments or the report card, they need to really capture what we are talking. And if we are in a position to capture what we are talking through these instruments or through the report cards, by looking at all the aspects which you have talked in these parameters of test instruments, then I don't think there will be any problem. But these instruments on which you are assessing them have to be very, very scientifically, spotted document. All kind of researches have to be the part of this kind of a instrument which you are talking, because if that happens and then these instruments are really a very clear reflection of these boys and girls of standard 1 and 2, then I don't think there is any problem. So you have to be very, very clear in your mind that these instruments which you have prepared to assess these boys and girls are something where a lot of research, lot of mind, lot of ideas, lot of thoughts have gone into these criterias. And if it happens, Manjula, let me tell every one of you who is there, attending and helping us out in the workshop. I don't want to name, but I can see this girl Nisha there sitting just behind you. And there are many of them. So then I think whatever statistics comes, that will give you some kind of a exact, what you call exact reflection, and on the basis of that exact reflection and then comparing it with where they should be, that becomes a gap. So you know that at the standard 2, he or she should attain these things. And what you are doing, you have worked out some kind of their assessment. So suppose your criteria or the perfect criteria should be after second standard should be A. And today in your what you call the baseline data suggests that they are at B. So then it gives you understanding that what is the difference between A and B. And that A minus B is what we require to work on. So if that gap is well identified, and then gap also speaks that how much it attributes to the knowledge and how much of the gap attributes to the skill, how much it attributes to the socio-emotional aspects, how much it attributes to the other kind of a cognitive and a non-cognitive kind of a skill and knowledge you were talking about, then the job of a teacher becomes easier. So then what happens? The roadmap, when you go for the end survey, and in between you infuse those gaps by teaching them, by exposing them, or whatever the gaps is attributed to, Those gaps, if they are filled up, then towards the end line in this pathway which you have discovered to attend this, you will be in a position that when we infused certain material on cognitive skills, certain materials on a non-cognitive skills, we trained our teacher accordingly, we designed the way they need to be exposed, all kind of a processes and the tangible efforts of the teachers will attend those gaps, and you will see that when you go toward the end line of the survey, that gap will be minimized. And this travel of from the baseline survey to the end line survey, and the efforts made to achieve the yardsticks, that is your path. If that is attained properly, I think you are done. But this is a workshop, this is a lab where you are working on this. Then huge gaps comes when huge gap comes when what you call uh, uh, you know so this is a lab which I'm talking. This exercise is happening in a very conducive kind of a conditions, and your minds and your collective wisdom discover a path on which this should happen. Then exactly what you do needs to be translated in the entire schooling ecosystem. So the another challenge will come, whatever you discovered today in these workshop tomorrow, then these pathways which you work out, that needs to be translated in the entire school. So the effort which you are doing, in other words, I should say that this requires to scale up in entire school. It's a huge task. There you have to go to the teachers, every teachers, every parents, and the very vital issue which I missed on is that you are when you gaps are identified, then these gaps you require to discuss with the parents, which is the key stakeholder in the entire process of learning. So how these gaps, some of the gaps, they may not be attributed towards the educational hardcore educational part, that may be linked to the when you talk of a socio emotional skill, where teacher may not have the kind of things he has to do within his ambit, but that may be there in the ambit of the parents. So you need to tell the parents that these are the areas where your kids have some weaknesses when it comes to the socio emotional aspects, and that is how you can help your son or a daughter on these parameters. So what you are talking is a holistic assessment of a child, and there are aspects which are not directly linked and attributed to the school environment or the teacher's environment, but it may also be linked with the parents and the society in which he is being brought up. So there are many other things which you need to really be careful, that what are the gaps which you find today after assessing and doing your baseline survey which you are doing. So you really need to divide the entire feedback and the gaps on the basis that what attributes to whom. And if you can link those gaps to whom, it will be easier to attend. Because the Shikshak cannot be a solution to every aspect which you are capturing. There are many other things where the society as a whole, the parents, mother, father, peer groups, they can help them out. But you need to tell that these